In the past, my dissociative identity disorder was very unconscious to me. I felt very disconnected from my own sense of self, and also disconnected from my emotions. So to me, I felt a lot like a ghost, or like a hollow, empty vessel. And then the other parts inside my mind would hold a lot of awareness of emotions and experiences. When I was younger, I didn't know what they were, and I didn't really know what was happening. So I came up with a lot of theories about what was happening to me. I used to worry that the dissociated parts were ghosts and demons, and I worried that I was being haunted. I thought that maybe I had a connection to the spirit realm, and that I was being haunted by these ghosts. I was really afraid when I first told my therapist about hearing voices inside my head, because there's a huge stigma against hearing voices. I didn't know what the voices in my head were. I could hear a lot of them talking to each other, and I didn't know what was going on. Sometimes I worried that I was losing my mind and that I would not ever be able to be functional in the future. I was really afraid, and I asked my therapist if they thought that I was crazy. That's when they explained to me that hearing voices in your head, that can be your subconscious communicating with you. I feel really grateful that I was able to work with a therapist early on who understood about dissociated parts and was able to let me know that what's happening makes sense, and let me know that I don't have to be afraid of my own experiences and what's going on in my mind. I found it really helpful in my own progress to learn not to be so afraid of the presence of the other dissociated parts. Being open to the communication from the other parts has also been a really helpful part of recovery, because this allows me to know what they're thinking and feeling and what they need, and allows us all to become more connected through communication. I have a lot of communication from the other parts through talking in my head. So I will hear a spoken voice that's not my voice and not the sound of my internal thoughts. It's a spoken voice that sounds like somebody else. I also have a lot of communication from the dissociated parts through dreams. So far before I knew that I had dissociative identity disorder, even as a child, I would see the other parts in dreams and they would communicate with me there. There's also an internal world that the dissociated parts live in, basically another dimension in the subconscious realm. And I see this internal world a lot through dreams as well. So a lot of our communication takes place through there. Also, I can pick up nowadays, now that I'm a little more integrated, I can pick up on the other part's thoughts and feelings a lot of the time, as if communicating with another person through telepathy. During childhood, it's usually very unconscious. You can become more aware of it as you get older, and as you move away from the environment that required the dissociation in the first place. Once you're in a safer, more stable environment, then you are able to safely process the experiences that you weren't able to face in the past. And then they can start becoming reintegrated and reconnected to your own sense of self and awareness. With C-PTSD and PTSD, this can involve the reintegration of emotional and sensory experiences. With DID and OSDD, it also involves reintegration and awareness of other senses of self. Part of healing is to become aware of the other senses of self and the experiences and emotions that they hold, learning how to hold those experiences together.